You walk into a room, and within seconds, something subtle happens. A comment challenges you, a joke brushes too close, a tone feels slightly dismissive. Most men react instantly. They explain themselves, defend their position, laugh too quickly, or sharpen their voice. It feels natural, it feels justified, but in that small reaction, something invisible slips away. Authority does not collapse loudly, it erodes quietly. The disciplined man does something different. He pauses. He does not rush to fill the silence. He does not hurry to protect his image. While others reveal their insecurity through speed, he reveals control through restraint. And in that quiet space between stimulus and response, the hierarchy shifts without anyone announcing it. The social reality few admit. What you feel in that moment is pressure. What others see is instability. You think you are clarifying yourself. They sense that you need to be understood. You believe you are standing your ground. They notice how quickly you were moved. Social dynamics are rarely spoken aloud, but they are constantly measured. The faster you react, the easier you are to read. The easier you are to read, the easier you are to predict. And predictability lowers perceived strength. Respect is not given to the loudest voice in the room. It is given to the person who cannot be emotionally steered. The Stoic reframe. The Stoics understood this long before modern psychology gave it language. Marcus Aurelius wrote that you have power over your mind, not outside events. When you realize that, your posture changes. The moment no longer controls you. You observe it. Instead of reacting to every provocation, you measure it against your principles. Instead of defending your ego, you guard your discipline. This is not suppression, it is sovereignty. The Stoic does not aim to win every exchange. He aims to remain internally unconquered, and that quiet commitment becomes the foundation of an unshakable presence. Control yourself, and the room follows naturally. The real enemy is internal. Most men believe their problem is other people, the disrespectful co-worker, the dismissive friend, the stranger with the sharp tongue. But the true battlefield is not outside, it is within. They do not cause the surge you feel when challenged. You trigger it. It is the need to be validated, the fear of appearing small, the quiet insecurity that whispers, "Prove yourself." That whisper is the real opponent. When you blame the world, you stay reactive. When you examine your need for approval, you begin to gain control. The ego wants immediate relief. It wants to correct, impress, dominate, or justify. Discipline wants something else. It wants stability. The difference between the average man and the composed man is not strength of personality. It is a strength of restraint. One is ruled by impulse. The other governs it carefully. The cost of emotional leakage. Emotional leakage is subtle, but its cost is severe. A raised eyebrow, a defensive laugh, a rushed explanation, these seem harmless. Yet each one signals that your inner state can be disturbed. The moment others sense that, the balance shifts. Authority is not taken in dramatic clashes. It is reduced through small exposures. When you over-explain, you reveal doubt. When you react quickly, you reveal sensitivity. When you argue to be understood, you reveal dependence on agreement. None of this is intentional, but it is visible. People may not consciously analyze it, yet they adjust their behavior accordingly. They test more, they interrupt more, they challenge more, not because they hate you, but because they sense instability. And instability invites pressure. The Stoic law of control. The Stoics built their discipline on a simple law: separate what you control from what you do not. The tone of another person is not yours to command. Their opinion is not yours to sculpt. Their judgment is not yours to silence. But your response, that belongs entirely to you. Imagine your mind as a fortified city. Insults are knocks at the gate. Provocations are noise beyond the walls. The untrained man throws the gates open and fights every passerby. The Stoic strengthens the walls and chooses when to engage. Control is not withdrawal, it is selectivity. When you internalize this law, you stop chasing reactions and start choosing them deliberately. And deliberate behavior is the foundation of quiet power. The psychological pivot. The pivot begins with a single interruption of habit. When you feel the surge to react, do not suppress it and do not obey it. Observe it. Label it quietly. This is my ego seeking control. That small act of awareness creates distance between you and the impulse. In that distance, you regain authority. Instead of asking, "How do I win this moment?" ask, "How do I remain composed?" The question changes the objective. Winning becomes irrelevant. Stability becomes primary. Over time, this shift rewires your reflex. What once triggered immediate defense now triggers measured stillness. And stillness, practiced consistently, transforms into presence. Behavior shift. Imagine you are in a meeting and someone subtly challenges your idea. The average reaction is immediate correction. He leans forward, speaks faster, and piles on explanations to secure approval. His urgency betrays him. The composed man does the opposite. He pauses, lets the silence breathe, and answers slowly. He does not defend every detail. He clarifies only what matters. That restraint changes the energy in the room. Instead of appearing threatened, he appears selective. Instead of reacting, he evaluates. This shift is small but powerful. When you reduce unnecessary explanation, you reduce visible insecurity. Speak less than your impulse demands. Allow questions to sit before answering. Let others reveal their intentions fully before you respond. Control your tempo, and you control the interaction. Now consider a different scenario. Someone makes a subtle joke at your expense in a group setting. The reflex is to laugh along too quickly or fire back with equal force. Both reactions are attempts to regain control. The disciplined response is steadier. You hold eye contact for a second longer than expected. You smile lightly, not defensively, and either say nothing or respond briefly without emotion. No overreaction, no visible irritation. That measured calm forces the attention back onto them. It signals that you are not easily provoked. Boundaries do not always require confrontation. Often they require composure. When you stop rewarding subtle disrespect with emotional energy, it loses momentum naturally. Pressure does not always come as confrontation. Sometimes it arrives as silence, rejection, or indifference, a message unanswered, an invitation declined. The instinct is to chase clarity, to demand reassurance, to close the uncertainty quickly. That chase exposes need. The disciplined alternative is emotional containment. You acknowledge the discomfort privately, but you do not let it dictate your behavior. You continue your routine. You invest your attention where it is returned. You allow space without dramatizing it. This restraint communicates something powerful. Your stability is not dependent on immediate feedback. When you stop pursuing validation, you stop leaking power. Emotional discipline is not coldness. It is self-respect expressed through a controlled response. Silence as power. Silence is often misunderstood as weakness. In reality, uncontrolled speech is a weakness. When you speak to fill space, you reveal discomfort. When you argue to prove yourself, you reveal doubt. Silence, used deliberately, does the opposite. It creates uncertainty in others while preserving certainty within you. A calm pause after a challenge signals that you are evaluating, not reacting. A composed refusal to engage in gossip signals standards. The room begins to adjust around the person who does not scramble to be heard. Silence is not withdrawal, it is filtration. You choose what deserves energy and what does not. That selectivity builds gravity, and gravity commands respect. Future identity projection. Imagine yourself months from now, walking into the same rooms that once unsettled you. The comments are still made, the pressures still exist, but your reaction has changed. You no longer rush to defend, impress, or explain. You listen fully. You answer selectively. You allow silence to work in your favor. People sense it immediately, not because you demand respect, but because you no longer leak insecurity. Your posture is steadier. Your words are fewer. Your presence feels heavier, grounded. This transformation does not come from dominating others. It comes from mastering yourself repeatedly in moments no one applauds, and over time, that private discipline becomes public strength. Control your mind, and you control your presence. Guard your reactions, and you guard your authority. The world will always test you. Let it. Your discipline is the answer. Your restraint is the proof. Remain steady and remain sovereign.